All right, so check it out, y'all. What's up? My name is Jonathan Orantes. I live in San Francisco, making this video because there's something that I realized today. Today, I realized that it takes way more courage to go out into the streets and try to tell somebody about Jesus than it does to ask if somebody needs prayer or how their walk with the Lord is going or just talk about Jesus in church. I'm not going to say it doesn't require any courage because maybe just talking to people in general for you might be very difficult. But I experienced something today where I was left with, wow. Um, I went out for the first time in a very, very long time, over a decade probably, to intentionally go and try to just tell people about Jesus in San Francisco Mission District, try to pray for people. And there was, I'd even planned at first to go even do that. I felt the Lord really just stirring my heart in prayer as I was just reading my word, walking throughout the city, just seeing homeless people on Valencia and thinking, man, these people are really coming from the mission. They're moving in literally a block away. When I went to the mission then, because I felt moved to go to the mission. At the corner of 16th and Mission, and I'm just looking, and my goodness, there is a weight, a spiritual darkness in that, in San Francisco for sure, but definitely in that location. And I see people literally smoking crack cocaine, potentially weed, but definitely people shooting up and things like that. People selling drugs, homeless there, drunk. Some people are just out of it, and there's just also like people arguing, the strife I felt there. I was a little mind blown by it, because though I did not grow up in San Francisco, but I grew up in the Bay Area. Like, I know San Francisco, and seeing all that, I was just reminded, wow, this is like, they really need Jesus. We need Jesus. I have Jesus, right? But I need Jesus more than I did 5 minutes ago, for sure. But I was like just praying. I'm like, Lord, stir my heart, give me boldness and courageousness just to be able to share the gospel right now, to tell somebody about Jesus. And I was just like, I felt timid. I felt scared. I felt like, oh, what if X, Y, and Z and this, and that. And then, so then I just started walking after like 30 minutes, just started walking down towards, so from 16th and Mission, walking down to 17th Mission, 18th and Mission. And I was like, Lord, like, help me build that, just that muscle that I haven't built. So then I just started telling people like, hey, like, God bless, right? Like, God bless, right? So I'm walking down, I'm looking at people, and then, I'm like, hey there. They're like, oh, hey. And then I'm like, oh, God bless. Or like, I saw a group of people just sitting down on the floor, and I just told them like, hey man, like, God bless y'all. God bless you. They're like, oh, God bless you too. I'm like, okay, cool. So I started to feel a little bit, just, okay, you know what? It seems like they're not as hostile potentially. And then I find myself, walking another block, and there was a man in a wheelchair just scratching a scratcher, trying to win that lotto. And I said, hey, sir, how you doing? He's like, oh, I'm good. Do you have any change? I was like, unfortunately, I don't have any change right now. He's like, oh, like, I'm hungry. And I was like, well, hey, I can go buy you some food. And now, side note, I'm not telling you this as a way to prop myself up and say, hey, yeah, go, I went and, I don't want to tell I don't want to, what is it? Jesus says, do not let your left hand know what your right hand is doing, right? Not trying to do that. Unto the glory of the Lord, for sure. But there's a point to this. So I go buy him, some food, a little bit of food, give it to him. We start talking a little bit, find out his name is Charles. And I said, hey, Charles, can I pray for you? Is there anything I could pray for you? And he's like, yeah, pray for guidance and wisdom and this and that. And I was like, okay. And then I asked him straight up, hey, do you know Jesus? And he said, oh, yes, I know. I know the Lord. And I was like, okay. And then we started talking a little bit, and he's struggling right now. And I just asked, hey, can I lay my hand on you? Can I just pray for you? I pray for him. And then after that, he's like, and I just tell him, I was like, yeah, I'm trying to go around just praying for people. I know that there's people who just need the presence of God right now. And he said, like last week, yeah, like, thank you so much. Last week, this girl prayed for me also. She came up to me, and I asked for change. She gave me like a couple pennies and a nickel, but then she prayed over me, and then for me, I really felt like, oh, that's actually really cool, because I personally felt like, hey, and I told him straight up, I was like, bro, the Lord is pursuing you. Like, I don't think it's a shocker that, like, you're the first person I prayed for today. He was the only person I prayed for today. But I told him, I was like, I don't think it's a shocker that the Lord put you and I in the same path, right? I don't think it's a shocker that this lady prayed for you last week, and now this week you got another prayer. Like, the Lord is pursuing you, bro. Like, you are loved. Nothing. And then I asked him, hey, can I read a little piece of scripture to you? He said, yeah. And it was a blessed time. I left there not feeling good about myself, but saying, you know what, Lord, this is something. I came out of that saying, this is something I need to build. We need to work towards together. And I work at a church. I'm a pastor. So this is what the real thing I was left with was, it is so easy to teach, to talk about Jesus at church. It doesn't require any effort. For the most part, like I said, maybe for some of us, we're timid or scared or whatnot, but it doesn't. My wife's coming home. This is awesome. But it doesn't take that much effort to share the gospel when you're at church. Right? I mean, everybody's there to be able to pray for somebody at church. It's very easy. It comes a little bit more natural. But when you're out in the street, oh my goodness, the courage you need to do that is just mind blowing. And I experienced that for the first time. That just reminded me, Lord, this is something we need to do for all of us to learn how to build that muscle, whether it's at work or out and about with our friends and our family, not just at church, not just on a Sunday for an hour. But I was left with that, and there's a couple other things that, you know what, along the way, we'll talk about it. But that was just something that stood out to me today that I just wanted to share. But my wife's here. I'm gonna go love her up, and yeah, talk to y'all later. Cheers.